2K has finally revealed the long-awaited details for WWE 2K22's highly anticipated mode, MyGM. The MyGM mode puts you, the gamers, in charge of storylines, building your own roster, creating rivalries that would make your brand the top WWE brand. Now, the MyGM mode will be returning to WWE video games after nearly 14 years. The last game with the MyGM mode was WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, but this is 14 years down the line and it is a whole new kind of MyGM mode, and we are here to talk about it. Let's start from the basics. Right off the bat, you'll have to select how long would you like your MyGM mode season to be. A season in the MyGM mode can be either 15, 25, or 50 weeks long. The mode can be played single player, versus an AIGM, or it can also be played via local co-op against your friend or family member. The mode will also have some limited online capabilities. Now, the goal of MyGM mode is simple. It is to win and destroy your rival GM. Now, after selecting the length of your season, you will then be asked to select your general manager and your brand. Now, the choices of the brands include Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and NXT UK. And before you ask, no, NXT 2.0 does not look like it's in the game. We will have to deal with the old black and gold NXT in 2K22. Now, as far as the GM choices are concerned, we can pick either Adam Pearce, Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, Sonya Deville, or our own created GM. Now, here's an interesting part. Each general manager will bring with themselves a power card, and these power cards are like power-ups that we will be needing throughout the season. For example, there is a card that can boost the morale of your roster. There's another card that can actually send your tired and exhausted superstar on a vacation. Now, there's one more card that can actually increase the XP of your entire roster by 1 or by a certain point level. You will get one of these cards free with the GM of your choice, and you will of course be able to buy more of these cards via in-game currency as you progress in the MyGM mode. Now, once you are done selecting your general manager and your brand, it is now time for step 2, that is drafting your roster. Now, once again, it'll cost in-game currency to draft every single star onto your show. Now, each star will cost a set amount of money. The more popular the star would be, the more you'll have to spend on them. Each GM will have a starting budget of $2.7 million, which, by the way, should not all be spent on drafting your roster, because if you spend all the money during your draft pick, you will have no money to run your shows. We'll talk about it in a second, but before that, let's talk about how the WWE draft will work in the MyGM mode in WWE 2K22. There will be 8 rounds of drafting, and the GM will take turns drafting one after the other, how we see on WWE television. You will see stats about each star, such as the class, the alignment, the popularity level, and their stamina. And when it comes to class, they include bruiser, specialist, fighter, giant, as well as cruiser. Now, as you draft the stars to your roster, the game's algorithm will also recommend you to pick stars that will be a better fit for your show, on the basis of the class of the stars that you've already picked. For example, if you have picked somebody who's a bruiser, the game might suggest you to pick more bruisers and, something like that. So the game's algorithm will help you pick the roster, but it's up to you if you want to listen to the algorithm or if you want to listen to your heart. Now, once you've picked your picks and all 8 rounds of the draft picks are over, you, as the general manager, can either choose to draft even more superstars to your brand, or you can opt out of the draft altogether. Again, you can choose to spend all your money in this draft picks. The game will not stop you from doing that, but it is not advisable. Why, you might ask? That is because you'll need to spend money on everything in MyGM Mode. If you have no money, you will have to run shows from high school gyms, as the arena and concert halls are gonna cost money. Match types and special match stipulations would also cost money, because without money, you won't be able to put stars in Hell in a Cell or Elimination Chamber matches, and you would only be able to book your stars in traditional, regular, one-on-one or tag team matches. That's about it. Moreover, with the money in your pocket, you can later sign free agents, legends, and even enhancement talents to your roster. So save up and don't spend all your money during the draft pick. Now, being a GM, being a general manager, is not an easy job. And if you don't book your matches right, your fans in WWE 2K22's MyGM Mode, they will complain. Your revenue will be low, and even your superstars will complain. And if you don't use your superstars right, or if you overuse them, they'll be exhausted, and they would want to be sent on vacation. Now, the commissioner, Triple H, the King of Kings, might also pop in here and there, and he might advise you on how to run the show in a certain way. Now, are you gonna be a heel GM or a nice babyface GM who'd listen to Triple H? That is your call. Now, what is the goal of this MyGM Mode, you might ask? It's simple. The goal is to win and show brand supremacy. You'll be building towards a WWE pay-per-view or premier live event every 5 weeks. And of course, the last pay-per-view of the season will be WrestleMania. And as you get closer to Mania, you will have to build more money, you will have to unlock cool arenas, expand your roster, and put on the best rivalries possible for your WrestleMania match card. And if you win, and your brand wins. These are all the details that you need to know about WWE 2K22's MyGM Mode. If you like this video and if you want to stay up to date with all of wrestling news, including WWE 2K22 news, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. We need your support. Wrestling News is a growing YouTube channel that posts over 30 hours of content every single week, including exclusive interviews with the biggest wrestling stars. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe, and we will be back every time a big news story pops up in the world of professional wrestling. My name is Raz Singh, and this is Wrestling News. Thank you.